tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Yeah, Trudging Thursdays. I thought it was Friday. I even wrote a response to you. I'm like, can we meet a little bit later? I got up a little late. I'm like, never mind. It's Thursday. I'm good. Man, my time is filling up more and more. I'm not meaning to, but it is. My cats think they're starving. All right. Okay. If you're going to do nothing but give me ads, then I'm not going to work with you. But good morning. Yes, good morning, Amber. Fuck. Why do we have to wake up? Why can't we just continue? Why can't we just continue sleeping? Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about working with newcomers, how we work with newcomers. There is a reading. It's today's daily reflection called Honesty with Newcomers, but you know that's not going to be. Yeah, we're going to have to go further than that. All right. Nobody's even said anything on how long my hair is getting. It's because you guys see me every day. Somebody actually mentioned it the other day. They're like, "Hey, you growing your hair?" I'm like, "Yeah, you haven't seen me in a while, so you noticed." But when you're around me all the time, yeah. Unless I changed to a different color, then you'd probably notice. So, but yeah, it's all right. Oh. Yeah. We got some cool stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah, meow. Meow. I would agree. Meow. I'll pay you at 5, dude. Until then, go find something to do. Yeah, today I got some things I got to take care of for my AA group. It's our group conscious. So I got to get a few things done. I gotta update the format, and I'm gonna clean my house today. That's all that's on my plate today. Oh, I have a sponsor yet too, but I don't really consider that work or anything. And he's not even a sponsee. He hasn't been a sponsee for a year. We're used to meeting. We like to meet, connect. We're just a couple closed mouth friends at this point. But at one point, he was a newcomer. And, I don't, it isn't coincidental that I meet people or people find what it is that I'm doing, whether that's running a meeting, whether I'm doing this, a podcast, whether I'm out in the world doing what I do. Yeah. So I take these opportunities and when it comes to newcomers, what happens is I get this feeling in my gut that I am to reach out. Or I might even get, lately there's also been, my gut's been like, that's a good match for so-and-so, and it's been working. Listen to that intuition. Good morning, Heather. Heather says, "Hi there, Dion and number one Amber." Look at that, recognition. Is it because This is why they're saying that for the people that aren't on Facebook. Oh, it's not doing it anymore. Good. It was rating people's comments. This is the number one comment. This is the number one person comment. It quit doing it. Thank God. It was so stupid. It's like, don't come in and rank my people, man. I'm perfectly capable of ranking them myself. And I'll tell you how it works. It's all equal. Gonna be meeting with on the 7th. We're gonna be meeting with Salvation Army Harbor Light. I'm gonna be meeting with them. We're gonna see if we can do something for them. We're expanding a little bit. See if we can't help out with everything that's been presented to me in the last week. It's all a fit, right? Now, when this stuff used to happen, I would get excited. I get, I'd be a good alcoholic and I'd put the cart before the horse. That's what I did. Right. In this case, I'm not. It's not. I just went there and looked at it. It isn't showing the numbers. Maybe it is for you folks, but over here it doesn't show me that. Anyway, it better not be doing it. Grr, YouTube, don't you know who I am? Hey. Do you know what time it is? Well, besides that, it's 11:33. Do you know what time it is? It's time for Dion's Daily Funnies. It's time. We got some ideas on some. All right. It's been nice. It's taken a while, but I was on depressants for a long time. Right. Much longer. And I was on Cymbalta. The average is 40 milligrams. I was on 120 because they were also utilizing it to deal with some pain that I was having, some neck pain. I still have that neck pain, by the way. All right. I'd rather have the neck pain than, but what it did is it took away some of my talents, some of my skills, some things that I could do, my art, the artistic part. And yeah, that's been coming back. It's been nice. I've been thinking of something. Yeah, now my funny wit is also coming back on just which is important with what I do because sometimes you gotta come up with something very, very quickly, right? But anyway, I digress a little. Do you know what time it is? Because it's now 11:35. Oh, you heard the rumor going around about the butter? Never mind. I shouldn't spread it. Oh, okay, but it's after this one. What concert costs only 45 cents? 50 Cent with Nickelback. Yeah, that is a 45-cent concert. I like this next one. What is Forrest Gump's Facebook password? One Forrest one. I like that one. You shouldn't kiss anybody on January 21st because it's only the first date. You want to hear my pizza joke? Never mind. It's too cheesy. Yeah. See, you have to, in order to do this, you got to have like multiple talents. Like you got to know how to tell a joke. You got to know how to tell stories. Mostly, you just got to know how to run your fucking mouth. Okay. Let's do today's daily reflection and then we'll get into our stuff. All right. Honesty with Newcomers, December 18th. Tell me exactly what happened to you. Stress the spiritual feature freely. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 93. All right. So, The marvel of AA is that I tell only what happened to me. Yes. I'm gonna stick to my experience. Okay. Now, remember, experience, strength, and hope. Don't just tell them the bad parts. Don't tell them. Even lately, there's been some posts. There's one post like, well, it's just, it when they put down, sometimes I'm online. I admit that I'm an absentee father, but that I believe people are capable of change. And I'll admit it. I was an absentee father. I'm not anymore. I don't feel guilty about that anymore. Okay, but I have to provide the solution too, not just and that's part of the experience, not just the story. Well, we're not exchanging war stories. I've been in the position that you've been in. This is what it was like for me. What happened? Well, I did this, this, and this. And what is it like now? Well, I'm sitting here with you, aren't I? I'm sitting here with you in 9 years of sobriety. Something's working. You seem to be listening to me. My eyes are shining. All right. Hair looks good. Ooh, looking good. I'm a pomade man. How's my hair? If you have not seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, I recommend you watch it. All right. I don't waste time offering advice to potential newcomers, for if advice worked, nobody would get to AA. Now, and what they're saying here is we don't really tell people what to do. I don't know how many times, just in the last 2 weeks, somebody said, "Oh, I'll be coming back tomorrow." Yeah, they don't show up. They're feeling pressured. That wasn't coming from the group, though. I can tell you now. I can tell you that. I like this group. I'll be back. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, proof is in the pudding. I hope they found a landing spot. I do. All right, we're kind of selfish though, right? We want those people to come in because it adds to the group, it brings more. So we got to be careful on this part of trying to cram. We cannot cram down their throat what we think they need to hear, right? So all I have to do is show what has brought me sobriety and what has changed my life. If I fail to stress the spiritual feature of AA's program, I am being dishonest. Yeah, you can't avoid it. Now, back in the day, not everybody knew that AA was a spiritual program. Now everybody runs around saying we are a religious program. Okay. In sales, we would call this a rebuttal. So the way that you cover rebuttals is by putting them in your sales pitch. Bring it up before them. Now, you probably know we talk about God in the meetings. You know that, right? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of heard that AA is religious. Well, that's a misnomer. And we're going to throw some humor in here. Okay. That's kind of a misnomer. There's a couple things about AA that people think that we are and we are not. All right. Now, number one, people think that we are religious. What we do is we welcome all religions and all forms of spirituality. You get to choose that. So nobody's going to tell you what to believe in, but they kind of will tell you what they believe in. All right. So I ask them, there's no wrong or right answer here. How are your feelings on God? How do you feel about God? Keep it short. You don't need to know much. There's only three things. One, I used to be religious. I'm not anymore. I never really read the Bible or anything, or I don't believe in God. It's one of those three things. You already know this. What are we doing? We're getting them to say it out loud, and that's okay. I'm only asking so I know better how to help you. It's the only reason I'm asking. What's the other misnomer about Alcoholics Anonymous? That we are a cult. Right? All right. Well, let's cover that one. And it's kind of a joke. How do you know that people in AA aren't that AA is not a cult? Because people in cults do what they're told, right? And this brings laughter. You're right, because we alcoholics, we do. So what are you doing now? You're getting them to admit that they're defiant. That's not what you've done. I may have made this a little too complicated, but this is just natural for me. The last thing I bring up is AA brainwashes you. That part's true. That part's true. Yeah. AA brainwashes you. You need it. Your brain's fucked up. That's the problem. The problem is your brain. So we need to brainwash you. Alcoholics Anonymous is cognitive behavioral therapy with God. And that, my friends, is a real easy way of saying brainwashing. It's still the same. Not all brainwashing is bad. All right. So now what have we done? We brought up the hardest topic, but we're laughing. We're laughing. Now it's not so hard. All right. We're not protecting them from stuff, but we are. See, but that after that, I can lower the boom. And lowering the boom is this. From what you've told me, gosh, you sound a lot like me, man. Some of the things you've said came out of my mouth too. Now we're on the same page. I brought hope. All right. Now that has more to do with the 12th step call, but our 12th step calls seem to end up in our AA meetings anymore. All I have to do is show that, show what has brought me sobriety and what has changed in my life. Yes. I already did this part. The newcomer should not be given false impression of sobriety. I'm only sober through the grace of my higher power, and that makes it possible for me to share with others. Now, what I'm not doing is I'm not prophesizing. That's not what we are here. Have you heard the good news? We don't go walking. We don't go knocking on people's doors asking them, if they've heard the good news. We don't do any of that. We are an attraction. If you want what we have, if you want what I have and you're willing to go to any length, then there are certain steps that need to be taken. And I can show you the way that I did it. Right? I can show you the way that I did it, but that's as far as it can go. So, really, what you need to do is you need to become the best example that you can be. And sometimes that's going to be um, taking care of a mistake that you made right in front of everybody. Sometimes it's going to be that. And guess what? It's okay. It works. It really does. When we, how often here, it happens at least 2-3 times a week where I'm wrong on the show. I am wrong, and it's okay. I don't get upset. What I do is I take care of it. Okay. I already know I'm going to make mistakes. I already know. That's all right. I'm a human being doing human being things. I'm going to mess up. All right. That's all right. Oh. Amber says, and you're not ready to take those steps, AA 12 steps, till you're actually willing to go to any lengths. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. Then she goes on to say, half measures avail us nothing. Weird, huh? You thought if you put in a half effort, you'll get at least something. No. Thank you for reminding me of that, Amber. It's been a while since I've talked about this. This is the proposition, and it's black or white. Okay. I call it a pregnant situation. You're either pregnant or you're not. There's no in betweens. And right now, talking about a higher power and willing to go to any length is not a half measure. But guess what? Alcoholics, you don't half-ass nothing. You do. You don't. All the manipulations and the lies and everything else that you had to take care of. You were willing to go to any length to get your alcohol. I used to run around all the time. I'd die for my kids. Of course, this is while I was drinking. Wasn't around my kids. I was an absentee father. Oh, but I would die for them. I was dying for them. I was dying. I was killing myself. What is alcoholism but suicide on the installment plan? Then somebody said, Dion, everybody would die for their kids. Question is, would you be willing to get well for them? And I shut the fuck up. It's not often somebody gets one on me, but man, that one got me. Would you get well for him? Would you get well for you? Because clearly you won't. Yeah. So we share what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. Now, we really have to avoid preaching, diagnosing, or impressing upon. That, we don't have to make this huge impression. Now, some of us are just big personalities. I've got a big personality. I got a few of them. I don't mean to leave an impression, but even my name just, people tend to remember it. So, but I don't do that intentionally. I let God guide me on that. Right? And ChatGPT and the reading didn't bring it up. Did you pray? You should always pray right before you work with a newcomer. Just real quick, God, please give me the right words. It doesn't have to be, Our Father, please bring us the peace and the serenity that we need. No, you don't need to determine all those things. No, God, give me the right words. I know you got me. Thank you. Be assumptive about it. I already know God's got my back. I know you got my back. We're going to go do this, right? Okay, let's go do it. So it's like for me, right? So what we need to do is let the newcomers see themselves in us. And how am I going to do that? Well, I get to do that because I did my fourth and fifth step, because I went to every length that I could to ensure my sobriety, to ensure that I was doing the steps the way that they were instructed in the big book. All right. There's even a part between 5 and 6 where it tells you to sit down for an hour. It says, going home, we take the big book off the shelf. And I put my big book on the shelf so I could take it off the shelf. Literally, I did. I didn't want to take any fucking chances. None. And it was time for Dion to start taking direction, which isn't always easy. Okay. Now I seek direction. That's the difference. When I first came in, even every now and then somebody will send me like a clip or something about, mental illness, and it kind of pisses me off. I don't know why. I get over it. And I listen to them. Okay, cool. And I don't carry the anger through the video, but just that quick reaction of, don't tell me what to do. All right, do you guys go through that too? See, I bring this stuff up because I know you go through it. You're an alcoholic. They're called intrusive thoughts. All right, so what else do we not do? We do not need to argue or convince. We do not debate. We do not force belief. And we certainly do not pressure decisions. The decision has to be made on them. But I can help influence that decision. Absolutely, I can. By sharing who I am. There is, and this is what we call unconditional love. We're not expecting anything back from this person. Right? And since we are approaching on an altruistic plane, meaning we want nothing from them, and don't go around saying, well, they have nothing to give, because that's bullshit. They kept you sober that day. They had more to give than you did at the moment. Hey, they ensured your sobriety. Be grateful around that. Be grateful that they're there ensuring your sobriety. And then you will make the approach like you need to. Because when it comes to being an alcoholic, everybody wants something, don't they? They want something. But when they're approached by somebody like us who has the solution to their problem, even if you could take a little bit of loneliness away, a little bit of loneliness, they will have a much better chance, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next month. Okay? Because I'm kind of getting tired of hearing people say, an alcoholic will only get sober when he wants to. So you can do nothing. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. When my wife said, Dion, I do not want to be around you while you are drinking anymore, it worked. It took another couple months, but it fucking worked. Because she also knows I'm a rule follower. I'm a Virgo. I can't help it. I like to follow the rules. The rules are there for me to challenge me so I think more and become smarter. I don't know why I think that way, but I do. Okay. So, can we get somebody sober? God does that part, but we can get them there. Okay. I almost want to say yes. What I can't do, what I can do is this. I can help somebody reach to the decision to be willing to be sober. That I can do. Getting them sober and relieving the obsession is out of my hands. So let's quit sticking our fucking heads in the sand like ostriches, thinking we can do nothing because it's not true. Maybe they weren't ready today, but if you did it right and you showed some respect when they make the decision, and what you did is you brought their bottom up a little bit. And even if you do that, it's a fucking success. People keep walking around, oh, rock bottom. You got to hit rock bottom. Rock bottom is death. That's rock bottom, death. But we use it so that we can sound this way or sound that way and create a fear. They already know what problem there. Let's stop talking about that. Cover their yets. Oh, you have one DUI? Oh, man, that's just the beginning. This is your first time in detox? It's just the first time. The yets. And that's where your story comes in. Right? When I tell them, I was jaundiced. I was yellow, man. My kids were crying. Do you have any kids? You do? They're kind of young. Mine were adults. Don't do what I did. I'm imploring you, don't do what I did. Because this was the result. And I don't want that result for you. Okay, well, thank you for the information. I appreciate it. You might feel put off, but they're remembering. All right. Okay. So we don't debate. We don't force. We can't. That we cannot do. You should not do. All right. So they've got to see themselves as an alcoholic. When it comes to alcoholism, self-diagnosis is the only legitimate diagnosis. Now, that is what they're talking about when they say only an alcoholic can make the decision to get sober. That's the part they're talking about. And no, I cannot help. I cannot make them make that decision, but I can certainly bring the problem to them instead of making them find the problem. Yes, you can do that. God gave you the power to save other people's lives. It's in this book. It says it several times. And if you deny that, then there will be certain gifts you will not receive. You're not going to get them. So they have to be honest about them seeing themselves as an alcoholic, right? Then we cover the mental obsession and how this is like an allergy. One part that I cover is this. It's not your fault. You were born with this disease. I absolutely believe I was born with this disease. It's not your fault. You didn't ask for it, did you? Did you ask to be an alcoholic? No, you didn't? Okay, great. Guess what? We still have to take responsibility for our actions, right? We still got to do that, even though that we were born with this. Am I right? And now every time, what are they going to say? No, we don't need to be responsible for it. But see, I have them agreeing now. Yeah, we do need to. I know I did. I had to be responsible for my actions, right? Yeah, we all do. We can agree with that. See, now we're getting somewhere, right? We're gaining an understanding. Okay. Willpower. We got to talk about the willpower. It is non-existent when it comes to drinking. Here again, use your stuff. Hey, you know what? I had willpower against so many things. I did. I actually have a lot of willpower. But when it came to alcohol, I have none. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why, but that's it. Yeah, I go through that too. Oh, really? What are we doing? What are we doing here? See, we're helping them understand their story through ours. Right? Now we can do this because we have the solution. We have a solution to this problem. Right? So the problem is no one accepts a solution they don't believe they need. Right? And we call that denial. We do it as denial. We emphasize the hopelessness without crushing hope. Here's the switcheroo. Experience, strength, and hope. Hope. You have got to be. You guys have seen my sweatshirt. It says Hope Dealer on the front. That's what I do. I walk around and I provide hope for fledgling spirits, for people that have a spiritual malady. I am hope. You are hope. Right? So here are some things that, so what we are not is an authority, right? Here's the thing. We're all an arm length away from the next drink. Am I different from the newcomer? Well, I may be different, but not so different that it sets us apart. This is the best way to put it. There are no greater than or lesser than signs in AA. They don't exist. We're all on the same level. Okay. Now I may have a little bit more experience, but that doesn't separate us. It shouldn't separate. So we are not authorities. We are equals, not experts. We are fellow sufferers, not professionals. We are the messenger. We are not saviors. And we don't want to be. So really, what are we doing? We're providing them with the information that they need to make an informed decision. It's a line I used in that I've used for sales, that I've used for AA, for I use it all the time. And that's what we do. We provide the information that you need so that you can make an informed decision. We don't manufacture spiritual experiences. We don't define God, and we allow space for their understanding. I call this holding space for others. It's okay. Hold space. All right. So we got to keep it simple. Don't overload them with information. All right. And here's the thing. Because people are, I see a lot of people say, everybody, we work on your individual needs, and here's the thing. If I give an alcoholic 10 options, they're going to pick none. If I get an alcoholic 2 or 3 options, they will pick one. They're usually going to pick one. Okay. Now, as an AA member, those don't really come up, but as somebody who's a professional, And you can do this too, because AA is not the only way. Okay. This is what I kind of do. If I'm working with somebody and I know that we're just not going to get past the God thing, I'm probably going to send them to Smart Recovery to at least get them started. If this person absolutely loves Jesus, they're on the Jesus bandwagon, I'm going to send them to Celebrate Recovery. If I have somebody who's neutral, maybe not a behemoth atheist, I'm going to try and get them to AA. Those are the ones that I use. And it seems to work. I tell you now, I don't send many people to Smart Recovery or Celebrate because those are the extremes. AA is the balance of those extremes. All right. So we can't make that decision for them. Too many decisions, complex explanations. No. Okay. Don't say things like SUD or AUD. Quit. Recovery coaches run around saying that like they're clinical. You got 3 months of sobriety. You probably, I have AUD and I'm a person in long-term recovery. It's one I don't like. So we encourage action, not agreement. So once they're like, yeah, I'm willing to give it a try, what's the next thing we're going to do? We're going to take them to an AA meeting. Now they don't have to go alone. They're going to go with somebody that they at least kind of know. They know their name and a little bit of their background, but what they are is it's trust. This is why 12th step working works so great, because then we take them from the detox or wherever and we take them straight to an AA meeting. Hey, you guys, this is my new friend so-and-so. Let's show them what life is about. All right. I'm trying to bring that back in Colorado. We don't usually get to 12th step nowadays and the phone ain't ringing. All right. So we also protect newcomers from overconfidence. We stress fellowship, not isolation, and we stay spiritually fit ourselves. So this is the bottom line from the big book, because I went and asked ChatGPT to go find all the ways we work with a newcomer in the big book, and it did a pretty good job. According to the big book, we don't fix newcomers, we don't manage newcomers, and we don't control outcomes. What we do is share experience, offer hope, point the way, stay available, and then we let God do the rest. Right? Then it's in God's hands. So you can be that person. Right? When we avoid, when we make the decision, somebody will help them. Then I feel sorry for you. I do. I feel sorry for you because you don't have the courage that you need to go do it. And I wish that you did, because it's a beautiful place. And I want you to join me because I'm selfish. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.